Yo, what's up, sugar tits? I thought I would make this video. I thought it would be pretty funny to talk about the one thing that has destroyed all of CS2. Yeah. I mean, for somebody who subscribes to me, you have absolutely no idea what the hell I'm talking about, but I thought I would make this video just for the gamers who are paying attention, because why the hell not? Basically, 3 days ago, we got introduced to a new update that allowed you to trade up red weapons, covert weapons, towards a knife. And that has destroyed absolutely all of the Counter-Strike 2 market. It has allowed these red weapons to go way up in price and also these knives to go way down in price. And I'm noticing something with the market that maybe is showing signs of recovery. I don't know, but we are shifting towards a new market that is completely fucking us over. And obviously, a lot of people have lost a fuck ton of money over this. And me, somebody who is very implicated in all things mental health awareness, a lot of people are not doing too good mentally, nor emotionally, nor spiritually. It's pretty much over. So this is the market cap today. As you can see, we went from a peak of around $6 billion all the way down to now $3.7 billion. Now, I do want to preface that I have absolutely no money in skins whatsoever. I kind of got out of the game at around like October, November 2025. I dealt with a pretty big scare. I got community banned for a day, and I had like $800 worth of skins, and I thought that I lost everything forever, so I kind of just left the whole skin game. I thought about coming back, but since the market was very much saturated and, you know, going really, really, really high, blowing up and stuff like that, I found absolutely no reason to get in. But um, this is the market today. So I was in the market at around right here, like September 2024, which is almost exactly what the market cap is today. But if we look at what happened in the last few days, now at midnight on October 22nd, the update got introduced, and we went from a market cap around 6 billion, so 5.9 billion, all the way down to 3.7. Now, if I was to like zoom out a little bit, you could see that it went down pretty hard. But today, it's almost like we're noticing a bit of a, I guess, I guess it's going down at a much slower rate now. Now, there are so many things that are in play. Now, a lot of people can trade these knives because it's been, more than a week since they had those reds. So they were able to trade those knives. And that's why a lot of people are selling their knives today, because they're panic selling. It's horrible at the moment. And there's also people who I guess are holding off on doing whatever, not even buying in or anything like that, because they want to wait exactly 1 week until whoever traded up those knives on October 22nd during this update can sell those knives, and more of those knives would be put out to the market because so many people would have profited insanely from this. Now, I'm noticing, like I said, a huge dip, but today I can observe that there's a tiny, like a tiny little like slowing down thing. You know what I mean? Like you can see that it's going down at a much slower rate now, albeit it is 2 p.m. So it's been like around 14 hours since this. But I do think it's worth noticing. Now, I don't know if this market cap update is updated like every second or anything like that. Let me see. No, it's not. Um, Maybe we'll see a little bit later, but either way, I think it hasn't been updated. It hasn't been updated in 2 hours. Um, so very interesting. I've also noticed something else. I've noticed that people are not putting their knives on CS Flow anymore, as opposed to when I looked just yesterday or even the day before. Um, I noticed that this is cheaper. Also, the float appraiser is appraising these knives at like much lower prices, which is probably why people are not putting their knives out in the market. 3 hours ago, one was sold at $400. This is now the cheapest factory new karambit. Absolutely insane. I bought this in Stat Track for like around $650. like about a year or two. Well, no, about a year ago. Um, so to see prices like this is absolutely crazy. But I'm noticing that people are not putting their knives out on the market. Um, the Karambit Tiger Tooth, if we look at the latest sales of that, we're at 600, like it even dropped down to like around 500 ish, 600. Yeah, see 500 right here easily. So its prices are quite, they're fluctuating and everything like that. But I'm noticing that people are not putting those knives out in the market anymore. This is a factory new one going at around $800. People are choosing to hold on to these knives and not really do anything with them. The marble fade, I was seeing a lot of these like regular marble fade karambits going at 900, but a lot of people were able to buy it 800, 600. Those are buy orders for sure. um so it's very interesting to see. I don't know what people are seeing in terms of the market, but I'm noticing that the knives that I saw that were, being listed at some crazy prices, they are no longer being listed at those prices. So is the market recovering, or are people choosing to hold on to see what happens at the end of the 7-day wait period for most of the knives that are be going, into the market? I have absolutely zero idea. I'm looking at karambits because it's one of the most sought after, items in CS2. Like everybody wants a karambit. Everybody loves karambits. These were being sold for like 900 or 800. And now I'm seeing that, it's being sold for prices like 1.1K. One got sold for 950, but I'm guessing that was a buy order. Um, I mean, just yesterday, yeah, 800, 800, 800, 800. Like, what is the mentality of the people that have these skins that want to sell them because they want to get out of whatever bullshit thing is going on? Or is the market just getting used to it? Because obviously, the odds of pulling a skin, like for example, a Karambit Doppler, that falls into play. And because those reds are going up in price, it's whether people think it's worth it or not to go buy these reds, to go try for these odds. And that's why maybe the value of these knives may be going back up. Nobody has any idea. But it's absolutely fucking insane what has happened to the market this past 3 days. Like I said, like I've been stepping out of CSGO. I've just been looking from a bird's eye view, just seeing what the hell's going on. But I couldn't even advise anybody to be like, yo, hop in or don't. You know what I mean? Like, it's very, very, very strange. I mean, knives like the Huntsman Gamma Doppler Phase 2 are now like budget knives when they were simply, much more sought after. They were around $450, back when I got into the whole skin game again. So it's crazy. I'm looking at very sought after skins like the Doppler Phase 2, especially on a Karambit, how it was sold right here for very little and now back on the market for, basically the same price before the update. I think what's happening here is ultimately the people control the market. So the people control whether or not they want to be affected by such a big thing. And maybe I was a fool not to buy in. Maybe we don't know. The dip could very well not be linear. And by the end of the week, when there's more knives being crafted and more knives, it's kind of like inflation. Not gonna lie, if you print more money, then the money loses the value. And if there's very little of the money, and it's very decentralized, it's kind of like crypto. You know what I mean? Like there's very little Bitcoin, but Bitcoin is hugely valuable. So the fact that more knives are being crafted by the minute because of these red skins, it means more supply. I don't know. It it's not looking too good. At the same time, I think the market is very well confused because, the price, I guess, of overpay is very well um not clear. You have like the M9 bayonet Doppler, coming back at around 950. It was, I mean, where was it before the update? 1.7. I mean, it is dipping in price. That one is just fine. Let me remove the bidding, but when I see 2.5 for a price, know, it it's strange. It's very strange what is going on because it's not exactly clear as to if the market is recovering from something like this. Very unclear. So what do you think about all this? Are you getting destroyed by the market, or are you just looking from the sidelines like I am? Rip to the people who had money in the game. And Valve, that was a really stupid fucking thing to do. That was a crazy rug pull. Craziest rug pull since Hawk Tuah.